you for tuning in to our third episode of Something Bigger, a Nerdcast, the podcast. In case you can't remember, we covered CW's Beauty and the Beast, episode 218, Cat and Mouse, in the last episode. So as we discuss possible theories of Heather's involvement in the next several episodes, as well as the possible future of Gabe. If you haven't seen the first two episodes of SBNerdcast, or can't remember a lot of things that we discussed, there are links in the description box that will guide you to your destination, like a GPS.
Kind of. Not really. You're not gonna go anywhere like apparates or anything. You're just... It's all in the mind. Through the eyes. On the screen. Moving on!
With that being said, I am Emily.
My name's Kimberly. I'm Kimberly. Sorry about that.
So.
Oh, I'm supposed to do the news now.
Yeah, news
right.
time. News time.
We actually have a lot of things to say that's newsworthy, I guess. First of all, the show ratings, I just want to say don't get discouraged that it is a 0.3 again. Because obviously Mark Pedowitz, the CEO of, I think, CBS company, he has made it certain that they don't just focus on ratings, that it obviously focuses on a lot of social media and everything. And so just don't be discouraged. 0.3, yada, yada, yada. We got season 3. So that's the most important thing right now is season 3 and promotion. Also, you need if you want BATB to be promoted, you gotta tweet a hashtag or something like BATB promo or something like that, whatever, to a CBS, and hopefully they'll get it. Unfortunately, it has been released that BATB will not be making an appearance at the San Diego Comic-Con. Now, some of you are probably just like, what? And so I just want to say one thing is, because BATB is going to be premiering in 2015, Comic-Con's just way too early for that. And also, they need the room for the newer shows to come in and get promoted, introduced, and everything. So don't be discouraged about that either. And there's always the New York Comic-Con. That could be a big possibility for BATB, since the show is based in New York. Anyway, also, as a reminder, Season 2 DVD pre-order is ready on Amazon, so get your checkbooks ready,
Credit
Get your credit card.
Get your credit cards.
I'm not an old person, I'll let you know. I'm 21, but that's beside the point. Get your credit cards ready, and type in the info and do the transaction. You get the drill. And also, there are a lot of polls online with BATB involved. There's some on E-Online and some on Spoiler TV. Just make sure you keep clicking and catching and stuff. And if haters hate, don't appreciate. No. If haters hate, don't lash out, because that's not nice either. And then, on the last note, the synopsis of the last episode of the season, Deja Vu, has been released, and I am just going to briefly read it. It says... Why is that there? Sorry. Okay. It says, Kat faces a tough decision. Kat, Kristen Crook, searches for a way to thwart Gabe, Senthil Ramamurthy, and finds her answer in an unexpected place. The Journal of Her Ancestor, which makes Kat fear the only way to stop Gabe is by killing Vincent J. Ryan. Nina Lisandrello, there we go. And Austin Bates is also star. It is directed by Stuart Gillard, and the episode is written by Brad Kern and Roger Grant. Now, just let you know, it's just a synopsis. Don't judge before you actually see the episode. And I'm sure it's going to be as great as the last ones have been. Alrighty. Now.
Something else I just added into our notes. Wasn't Kristen Crook nominated for a TCA, a Teen Choice Award?
I believe she was. That's right. I don't pay attention much to the TCA because I'm not a teen anymore.
Yeah.
Sad.
It was just,
But yes,
in glancing I saw on Twitter. So yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. she's the only nomination for Beauty and the Beast. So yeah.
Hey, we'll take what we can get.
Yeah. So yeah, check that out. Okay, so we're gonna recap the ending of episode 218, Cat and Mouse. So basically, within the episode, it started out with Catherine is kidnapped. JT and Vincent meet at the rendezvous point. Vincent tries to save Cat. She ends up saving herself. Hits FBI agent Knox with a chair. We end up liking this guy. Then Cat creates a wild goose chase for the NYPD while JT does some computer magic and hacks into Gabe's computer. Tess picks a side. Yay! Cat and Vincent go back to Agent Knox, who gives them a mission.
Hit your face.
Yeah, there's...
chair.
Sorry, hit your face. Anyway, so he gives them a mission to save another FBI agent, so they go and do that. They save her, but due to unfortunate circumstances, Venkat has to keep running. So then they jump out a window in the United Nations building, and that security team catches up with this Al-Qaeda bad guy dude who was
don't mess that word up. You need to know that word.
who was doing bad stuff. Anyway, he was somehow involved with the FBI agent getting captured and all that other stuff. But anyway,
that we don't care about.
But yeah, they catch him, and after he pointlessly shot at the water. Anyway, so then unfortunately, Vincent does not get exonerated after Agent Knox had offered earlier, and turns out that doesn't happen because people are stupid. Cat slapped.
You mean Gabe's stupid?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, him too. Cat slaps Gabe about damn freaking time. Then Gabe's loose lips mentions that he wants to destroy Vincent. Something that, is completely obvious. He doesn't really do a good job of hiding that. And then Vincent and Catherine end on the rooftop and declare they're going to have a future together one way or another. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, just a side note, I found out that in the running through running through glass scene, they actually did run through glass. And
it was the sugar stuff?
The time, like, falling down the water, to the water, that was obviously CGI and everything, but they actually did run through glass, so that was pretty cool.
Probably not real glass, though. It was like,
they said it was glass, the director.
They've got this, like, special type of glass that they make for stuff like this, so that, when you're running through it, you actually don't get cut. It's like a sugar glass type thing. Like, it's literally like candy.
Can you just let me have my moment?
I'm sorry.
That was a cool stunt.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I'm a bit of a film nerd. When it comes to special... I'm sorry.
I could just see them slow-mowing and running very slow with that song going in the background. Anyway, this is not the episode we are reviewing.
Yeah, that was last week. Now, today's 219, Cold Case.
That was a good show. Anyway.
Hey, yeah, that was a good show. Have you noticed, the past couple of episodes have sort of had a tie to, like, some sort of other TV show? You had Beast is the New Black, which was which is a play on the title Orange is the New Black from the Netflix TV show.
Yeah.
Cat and Mouse, could that be Tom and Jerry? And then this week we have Cold Case. 222 is Deja Vu. That's a movie. So
Ever After is also a movie.
Yeah,
and that's the title of the next episode.
I'm seeing a trend here. It's kind of like
start somewhere.
It's kind of like Supernatural's trend with naming their episode titles after, or a lot of their episode titles are named after or a play on names of rock songs, famous rock songs.
Yeah, and same thing with kind of Charmed, the show Charmed, which was also produced and mostly directed by Brad Kern. They most of their episodes, or actually all of them, are actually play on sayings. Like there was one that was or the first episode was Something Wicca This Way Comes, but there was another one that was just like, instead of saying traffic is a bitch, they say traffic is a witch or something like that. You know, it's a play on words.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah.
Back to BATB, the other Brad Kern TV show. What I really liked at the beginning is that they actually open up with some girl power. Yeah. I mean, it opens up with Kat and Tess helping Kat escape all of the squad cars, or not squad cars, but all the tails on her back.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was really cool how they just start out with girl power.
They pretty much hit the ground running. Like, you know, it starts out and bam, you know, Kat's being tailed by her own precinct, and she's like, who does this? And meanwhile, Tess is in the office, and she's like with her phone, like trying to make it look like she's not talking to anyone.
Yeah.
And she's just like, you've got so and so and so and so in your tail. Watch out for them.
It really shows what Tess is willing to do in order to help Kat. And I mean, she even puts their jobs in jeopardy with that little, loose lips. Say hello to Vincent for me.
Yeah.
And then Captain Ward just walks. He's just like,
I like this guy. I like this captain guy.
He does
just saying.
Job. He does
I like him. He was on Person of Interest before. Before this, that was the last thing I saw him on. If you haven't seen that show, I highly suggest it. It's pretty awesome.
But I just like how he almost has no facial expression. It's just like, you know.
He was a bad guy in Person of Interest, so you know he's got plenty of.
Yeah. And then with the girl power, even more kind of girl power, Heather comes back.
Yes! Oh
my gosh! We all knew that already.
Yeah, we knew it, but
coming back, but her entrance was great. When
yes.
Kat was like searching for the burner phone, and then she's just like, "Hi."
That's like.
What are you doing here?
Surprise!
Best awkward entrances ever. But that really fits her character, because she is one of those, you know, she reminds me of, I mean, on a smaller scale, of course, but she reminds me of Felicity on Arrow.
Yes!
She's very scatterbrained.
Yes! But she's not as awkward.
Well, yeah, she's not as awkward as Felicity.
She's not as awkward as Felicity.
And she's not like a computer geek or anything,
yeah.
But she has those, she comes in awkward moments, or she doesn't have the awkward sayings like Felicity does.
Yeah,
but you know, she's just
awkward.
Heather's very bright and perky.
But we love Felicity, and we love Heather.
Yes.
It's good to see Heather again. I'm kind of excited to see where her plotline's going to go within the rest of the season.
And you see her kind of twirling a rock. And just like, what has she been doing over in Miami other than playing for Ravenswood? But that's nothing.
That show was canceled right off the bat.
Hey, if it gives her a spot on BATB, works out.
It brings her back.
Yes.
Yay.
And so we have Heather. She's twirling a ring, and you know, Kat goes AWOL again. Nothing new between the sisterly love. And so Heather's just kind of standing there awkwardly as Kat just like awkwardly leaves with a clothing basket of all things.
Well, you know, it's to go with her cover of my clothes is drying on the roof, you know, when there's clearly okay, I'm gonna go now.
Yeah, and so she just leaves, and I mean, this is where the point where Heather, she's starting to get suspicious. Obviously, she's seeing the awkwardness her sister is, and
yeah, I think she already knew this is like she already was suspicious, and I think that plays in part of one of the reasons why she left. She didn't. I don't think she ever really wanted to know.
And I think
she was just tired of her sister keeping
lying to her.
Yeah, lying to her. So she was just like, all right, well, if you're not going to tell me, I'm just going to go. I'm not going to feed into this suspiciousness.
Yeah, and I think Heather half suspected her sister to be like that because she was obviously when in the beginning of season 2 and some parts in season 1 where Catherine would just leave and kind of abandon Heather to wherever, and so she would just leave automatically for whatever reason, and so Heather's probably just not surprised. And
yeah, I think she's a little disappointed, hoping that Kat may have changed a bit, but
but Heather's definitely changed. She's not the younger sister that needs protection, obviously, anymore. I mean, yeah, she's not some ninja girl, right? Like Catherine is, but she definitely knows how to stand up for herself verbally as a sister and knows when to draw the line now than she did last time.
Yeah.
But I really like how after the Heather scene, Catherine just runs up to the roof, and then all of a sudden she sees Vincent jumping off the roof, and she's like, "Wait, I'm here!" And then you just like
you see the backpack fly back over,
and then he just grabs onto the edge, and he's just like, "You're late." That was a perfect opening then cat scene.
Yeah.
It was very good, funny wise. And and with the lack of JT in the episode, I just love how they're playing more with some humor with other characters other than just JT and Tess. And if you think about it, Tess actually in this episode wasn't as funny as Kristen or as Catherine or Vincent. She didn't have lines.
I think the reason being, Tess, she's putting her job on the line. She's not very happy about it. She just, she was suspended as the same as Kat. So I mean, so I'd be ticked off about that too. If I got suspended because of my best friend.
But then again,
even though I'm helping her, even though I'm doing what I can to help her.
Tess knows that it was kind of her fault in the first place that they got suspended because of her little loose lips. Because she should have known, it was in the moment kind of thing when she said, "Say hi to Vincent." So it's kind of her fault that they were overheard. But, it didn't look like the captain was really planning on suspending them. He was just trying to get to the bottom of what was going on.
Yeah.
And Gabe just happens to open his big fat mouth.
I think, with this captain guy, I really don't think he believes everything that comes out of Gabe's mouth. He's just doing it to avoid a lawsuit.
Really windy outside, sorry.
But, yeah, I think I get the feeling that he's one of those guys, if he has evidence, he'll go with it. But if he doesn't have any evidence, then he's going to look into it. But he's going to, he's basically you're innocent until proven guilty sort of guy.
Does his job.
Yeah,
he does his job.
Yeah. He sees the task before him, and he'll get it done.
He reminds me of Seeley Booth. Except Seeley Booth is more, he's more social and kind of better looking.
Sorry, I'm thinking about Angel now. You mentioned Booth, and I'm thinking about Angel.
Oh, David, I don't know.
Boreanaz?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. You people can correct us on that. If somebody can find a pronunciation guide for that, please, thank you. But anyway, but yeah.
We will butcher names if we don't know their name, don't know how to pronounce it. We will butcher.
Oh yeah, but anyway, I think we've proven that in the past 2 episodes.
We're hopeless.
We feel bad about butchering names, but anyway, back to
nerds. We focus on the shows, not the names.
But yeah, speaking of the shows, back to our discussion.
Yeah.
So.
And so after the whole cute rooftop scene, and then she's like, "Oh wait, you're back!" And she throws the bag down.
That was
funny.
funny.
I was just kind of hoping he would say "ow" or something, like it would fall on his head or something, but it didn't. But anyway, then you see, Heather and Catherine again. And, Catherine's just, like, rushing in, and then Heather's watching the TV with Vincent's face plastered on it, of course.
Yeah.
And then Catherine's just like, nothing to see here, nothing to see here.
When, even after, right after, it's like, she already saw it, Kat. You might as well just explain yourself.
Yeah. And, yeah, my shock was that, after Heather saw the photo and everything, she didn't say anything about Vincent's scar. But... it's been a whole year. She probably has forgotten details like that, obvious. And that's not, obviously, the focus of the whole episode.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in season 2, there's no more scar porn. I loved his scars. But anyway, let's move on.
It's got really dark outside. Sorry.
Yeah, it's really gray and windy. Really windy.
We're in the midst of some early summer storms, folks.
Really?
So, but yeah. But anyway, that's beside the fact. Who cares about what's going on while we record, as far as weather goes. But yeah, back to BATB.
So we were talking about Heather and Catherine's reunion, and second reunion, kind of the episode, and with the whole. Oh, nothing to see here. That's just Vincent, my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. Remember, we broke up. and you can see that Heather's already starting to have her suspicions.
Suspicions.
Well, Catherine is
That's the next thing.
Yeah. And she's having her suspicions. And so,
and meanwhile, Heather's trying to tell her something that's clearly very important, but then...
And, she's twirling her ring as she's trying to talk, and
then Tess texts Kat and, like, hey, get to the precinct right now.
Of course.
Sort of, and Heather's just like, meh. Why you no listen?
Catherine has to go AWOL again on her sister.
And so she's all like,
Yeah.
And clearly, what she has to tell her is very, very important, so, but...
Yeah, I mean, her only sister's getting married, so...
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's before Catherine. I wonder if Vincent will ever pop the question. That's probably the answer of season 3.
But anyway,
wow.
So let's talk about that suspension. I know we sort of talked about it a little bit, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, Gabe's like, Kat gets there, and Gabe's like, oh, well, she's aiding and abetting, and you are, and well, you both are, and so, yeah, Captain, suspend them both. And meanwhile, the captain's just like,
okay.
If I want to avoid a lawsuit, then I guess I will. But he's like, you could tell he was really reluctant about it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he thinks that Catherine and Tess are pretty good at their jobs from what they do.
Yeah.
And, Catherine obviously is sleeping with the fugitive at her words, not mine. And but anyway, when you said embedding, when I saw the episode, I kept on hearing bedding a fugitive. I'm like, that's not entirely false.
Aiding and abetting.
Yeah, I know. I thought he said aiding and bedding. I was like, well, way to lay it down, Gabe.
But yeah.
Anyway, so my question is, who died and made Gabe boss?
Joffrey? I don't know.
It was Kurt Windsor.
Damn.
And probably a lot of other people Gabe has killed in the past, but...
Yeah. But, Kurt Windsor, it was self-defense. It was
I know.
It was purely self-defense, and Gabe's just a poopy head, as we have stated before. So.
Gabe is just a big pile of poop.
But moving on. That brings us to the next scene.
The pavilion scene.
After
the first pavilion.
After, of course, Kat and Tess hand in their shields, their badges, and their firearms.
Now Kat lost her badge.
Now she loses it.
Officially,
yes.
Just, like, tosses it into, or drops it, or whatever, like she did in episode 17 of the season, Beast New Black. But yeah, she lost her badge, and so did Tess too.
Yeah.
And we get to the pavilion scene, and I really like the pavilion scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Not because of what happens, but just like it's a different light.
Yeah.
It's like all white in the background almost, and and with what they're talking about, it just shows that they're not in a dark room, like, it's all dark and evil show, or not evil, but, a dark and grotesque kind of show. It's a better lighting, and I just really like that.
It kind of reminds me of some of the scenes in Supernatural, where, where Dean and Sam, like, are sitting there, just chilling by the Impala. Usually it's at the end of the episode where the boys are having a talk by the Impala. Usually it's you have all this dark stuff happen, then you get to this scene, and the two of them are, just it's sunny,
Yeah.
And it's a nice scene, even though they may be talking about something that, like, a problem that they're having, but usually they always pick some really pretty places for that. So that's what this scene reminded me of.
Yeah. And speaking about, like, scene shootings and stuff, like camera shots, not like
filming,
dead. Yeah, well,
filming.
Know what I mean.
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking of this, I just found out not too long ago that I cannot remember his name, so I am sorry to this person of great importance, but the man who actually directed the episode, he this was actually his very first TV episode ever directing.
Oh, wow.
He's directed music videos before.
Yeah.
But this is his first TV episode to ever.
He did a good job.
Shoot. And what I really like is I don't know if you noticed this, but I felt like he brought almost a different feel to the table of, the shooting the scenes, just a different, outlook on it.
Yeah.
And especially with the lighter colors in the background kind of thing. I definitely like that. And I do have to make a comment about the first rooftop scene. I don't know if you remember seeing the green screen or the background. It just looked a little fake.
It kind of. Here's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of two things that
it doesn't look real.
I've seen a lot of shows that had lots of really bad green screen. Once Upon a Time and Smallville.
Oh yeah.
Once Upon a Time, for being a good show, you can tell that they don't have a very big budget because they use everything green screen, and sometimes it's really bad green screen.
Yes.
It upsets me. And then there's Smallville, which has really it's bad, but it's not horrible.
It's
cheesy
over the years.
Not really. There's one scene I remember that sticks out. Where I think Lois fell or something from a roof, it was Lois or someone, I don't remember, but they fell from the roof, and Clark flew to save them, and all you see behind them is, you could tell it was a green screen. It was horrible. It was like watching like the first, I don't know, no, it was like watching the entire series of the Star Trek, the original series. It made me sad, but that's sort of what it reminded me. I've learned to ignore bad green screen.
Or Clark's, I can't think of it, with all the crystals and everything.
Fortress of Solitude?
Yes, his Fortress of Solitude.
That was actually really good.
Obviously.
They actually built the set, if I remember correctly, from a behind-the-scenes feature, they really didn't use any green screen in that. That was completely...
Yeah, I know. The set looks fake. I've seen better sets for the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
But then again, Smallville's a TV show. I've seen these in movies that are better. So, and obviously movies have better budgeting.
Yeah.
And, but anyway, that green screen, I just kind of laughed at that. But still, it was a cute scene nonetheless. It's what happens in the scene that counts, not what's in the background.
Yeah.
But sometimes what happens in the background is the most important part because it's foreshadow. But not this time.
Yeah, not this time. This time we just saw a bad green screen. I mean, it's bound to happen. I mean, TV shows on a level like this, they don't, I'd be upset if it were a show like Game of Thrones or, a big budget TV show like that. I would be upset if it was bad green screen. Because, they've got such a big budget and the studio is so much bigger than the CW. So there I'd be upset. But on this level, I'm not really too upset because it's sort of expected.
Yeah, I think it's probably easier just to green screen night. Because when you look at the night scenes on the rooftop, it doesn't look, fake or anything like that.
Because of the lighting.
Yeah, it's just the lighting and I just think I just like the rooftop scenes better at night, but that's okay.
This one, I sort of, how on How I Met Your Mother, they've got scenes that take place on a rooftop, and that's sort of what this reminded me of. It was like, you could definitely tell it was on a stage, and stuff like that. But I mean, it gives you that feeling, almost like a scene maybe out of West Side Story. Between Maria and what's his name. So I mean, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen the musical, but but yeah, that's the sort of feel that green screen, like it was set on a Broadway stage. Like that's what I've used in my mind to divert my attention away from bad green screen. But,
well, anyway, back to the pavilion scene. I thought it was another cute scene, kind of how they're now trying to get back at Gabe. They're obviously done with hiding. Well, they're still hiding, but I mean they're done running.
Yeah.
And they're actually gonna fight and try to get Gabe to worry about his own ass for once in a while. For the first time in a while. And so I'm really glad they brought up the bad things Gabe has done before as a beast, because I felt like a lot of times it has been forgotten.
It's overshadowed by other things, and it's like, this is more important.
Yeah. And so I really like how they brought that back, because it shows that they haven't forgotten it. That loophole is not there anymore, almost. Not loophole, sorry. Pothole.
Yeah.
Loophole is totally different meaning. I'm sorry. I'm blaming the weather. The weather is just messing up with my gears and stuff in my brain.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's okay.
But plus I'm on caffeine.
But anyway, moving on. So then, Gabe. Heather comes to the precinct, and she's all like, "Hey, I'm looking for my sister." And Gabe's all like, "Well, she's not here. Oops, she was suspended. Call me if you meet Catherine." And Heather's like, "What
okay.
Really? What did she do?" And Gabe's like, Gabe pretty much, he intentionally pulls a Hagrid and goes, "I shouldn't have said that." Intentionally, he wasn't by mere accident.
Loose lips, my friend. Loose lips.
Damn it, Gabe.
Another thing is just, also, if you notice the way things Gabe says now, I mean, he's not sugarcoating his thoughts anymore.
No.
He's out saying, even to Captain Ward, he said, "We are tightening the noose on Catherine Chandler." I mean, obviously he could have worded that better to make it not sound, death threatening, but literally that gave me chills when he said that.
Gabe's a poopy head.
Title of the episode, Gabe is a poopy head.
Title of the season, Gabe is a poopy head.
No, I'm talking about our Nerdcast episode, but okay.
But yeah, no, but.
And I think we've already discussed this a little bit, but I really like how they're giving Captain Ward more of a role.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously he was introduced earlier in the season.
We didn't see much of him.
He was kind of like a magnet on the wall. Like, we didn't see much of him, and not until these last couple of episodes so far. And I really like how they're giving him more of a purpose. It's like, oh yeah, there is someone who's in charge of the precinct other than Gabe, who used to be, who wasn't,
somebody who actually is in charge, and somebody who really seems like he doesn't really want to take any crap, but he's sort of being forced to avoid a lawsuit. Or,
and then it just looks like he doesn't have that much drama like Joe did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Joe. I mean, I love Joe. No, I mean, he was a good. I liked his character and everything, but Joe just had so much drama in his life, and that it really affected his job. And obviously, we don't know if he lost his job or if he just was transferred to another department that, in which we never saw him again. But obviously, he had so much drama, and you know, the new Captain Ward, Joe's lieutenant, but Captain Ward, he's just like, I'm not going to take any of this shit.
Yeah, I like him.
But he also seems like he genuinely cares for his worker, or his employees. He's not just gonna be like Gabe and say, "You're suspended." I mean, obviously, he gave Catherine and Tess a chance to explain themselves. Mm-hmm. Gabe's just like, you know what, I don't want to hear any of this nonsense.
Gabe, I think the thing with with the captain, he is a cop, and Gabe's not. So Gabe doesn't have that brotherhood with the rest of the cops.
No, he doesn't.
So Gabe lacks that empathy. I think Gabe just lacks empathy.
It definitely has to do with his past and everything.
Yeah.
So, then, like we said before, he didn't have JT.
No.
And
he didn't have
JT was basically Vincent's glue to his human side.
Yeah. And,
Gabe didn't have that, and so that's why Gabe is a poopy head.
Yep. But, speaking of Gabe, so, they've, Kat and Vincent decide to go and, find a case that they can pin, Gabe on, so they can get...
They can prove, prove that Gabe was there.
Yeah, so they can basically play Gabe's game and beat him at it. So, what they find is, before Kat is kicked out of the system, she finds out about this guy Ray Sheckman, from season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Vincent's eating gummy worms, and
hanging out. I have a gummy worm love right now. I just want it. I just want gummy worms now.
And he's hanging out at JT's place because JT is in Boston, apparently. I'm thinking maybe...
Yeah. Teacher conference?
Yeah, probably. Some sort of big conference or whatnot.
This is my theory. Okay, so we haven't seen JT actually being a professor on this last season, which is kind of like, why not? And so this is my theory. He has, what's that word? He has tenure.
Yeah.
He has tenure, so he probably has had his teacher's assistant doing all the teaching. Mm-hmm. And, because when teachers have tenure, they don't even have to show up.
No, and I mean, that doesn't mean that he's got a TA helping out.
He night classes or something, or he probably still teaches, we just don't see that because that's not the focus of the show, obviously.
Yeah.
But I just kind of wish we do see a little bit of his other side, not
maybe
just
next
the
season.
Side, but what?
I said maybe next season. I think that'd be really cool if we'd see that, like, next season, like something happens within, or something is tied to his class, like maybe the bad guys are using like his research or something, you know.
Oh wait, that's right. He does. They did do some weird kind of tie to his, his own personal story. It was when he got that award that was actually, fake because it was all about, trying to lure Vincent and to get the blood and all that. But still, they recognized his professorial, his teaching stuff.
Yeah.
They recognize his work.
Yes. So, but yeah. Anyway, so they find this cold case, and they decide that they're going to try to pin it on Gabe because it was Gabe. Gabe did actually do this, and they know. They just got to find the evidence.
That they know of, but obviously they can put the dots together and pin him to the place at the same time. And Gabe, at that time, they didn't know this, but I mean, Gabe obviously had motive because Gabe was looking for Vincent, and this guy was trying to say Vincent was innocent because he was scared into doing that, obviously. And then Gabe's like, oh no, I can't have that. So I'm glad that Vincent and Catherine were able to figure that out.
Yeah.
And I sometimes forget that sometimes something that happens on screen that we see, we know, but the characters might not know because they have seen that part.
Yeah. So,
and Evan could have attested to it, but Evan's dead, so.
Yeah. But anyway,
and then Gabe finds out that
from the captain because they're obviously monitoring.
Yeah. Catherine's computer.
Yeah. So
Gabe's just like, oh shit.
He's like, crap! They're they're pulling on me. What are they doing? Stop it. So
he doesn't like it when he's not in control.
No. So anyway, the next scene.
Yeah, and so after Gabe kind of has what the heck.
He's like, I gotta plan something. I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta be he's like Klaus. He has to be 2 steps ahead. He's not as ruthless. Well, maybe he's more ruthless than Klaus. No, Klaus is more ruthless.
Klaus.
Klaus is Klaus.
Klaus is Klaus.
And Gabe is Gabe. No, Gabe is poop. Okay. But anyway, so we get back to the pavilion scene numero dos. And I really like this scene too, because it was really funny how, they're trying to figure out, okay, so how are we going to do this kind of thing. And, Vincent's just like, I think I liked him better when he was a beast. I just love that. Because it was just a perfect line, very well delivered. And then, Heather calls Catherine, or texts, or whatever. But, Catherine's just like, I can't deal with the sister stuff right now. Yeah. That's on the back burner, so I'm just going to send Tess over there. Well, he and Vincent and I work out this mojo jumbo stuff.
Yeah.
And try to figure out what's going on this side.
Yep. So then Heather and Tess meet up.
Yeah. Tess and Heather meet up. That's that was kind of funny. On Tess's part, I think that was a funny scene. Just, Tess is trying to protect her friend, but at the same time she feels bad for Heather, and she's just has all this pressure of being suspended, She's just like, you know what, maybe it's just better if Heather knows, or just Heather knows some of the truth. And granted, maybe it wasn't Tess's place to tell Heather that Catherine was still dating Vincent, but it all worked out.
Yeah.
But it also, I really like how Tess kind of has seemed to be like, in an awkward position where she accidentally says, say hi to Vincent for me, and she kind of gets suspended.
Yeah.
And then you have she tells the truth part of the truth to Heather. And then Heather, storms off, all dramatic. She's like, I'm going to kill that girl and everything. And then Tess is like, no, wait. It just shows you that even a strong character like Tess can have her burpy moments,
Yeah.
She hiccuped a bit, which is nothing wrong with that because we're human, we're imperfect, we can't do everything perfect. So, and I really like that, how it shows that Tess is not this perfect cop who protects her friend. Obviously, she's going to have her downfalls too.
Yeah.
And and it also shows that she's also being affected by all of this mess. It's not just Vincent and Catherine and Gabe turmoil kind of thing.
Yeah.
That it shows that Tess, and even though JT's off in Boston right now for whatever reason, they both are being affected by all of this.
Yeah.
And it definitely, if I were in Tessa's shoes, I probably would tell on Kat too. I'd probably be like, you know what, maybe if I just tell the truth, or at least tell part of the truth, all of this, you know, Heather will understand.
Yeah.
Heather's Catherine's sister. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
And then, you know, Heather runs off. And Heather obviously says, she's like, I am not the same Heather you knew. I am stronger. I am a beast. No. She's just stronger in her character, and she won't, unlike before, she's just not going to take crap anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, season 1, she just kind of took everything I said. She's like, oh, okay, yeah. And she's like, nope, not this time. I'm going to kill her. And then you have the Tom Scheckman and Gabe phone call.
And Gabe's just like, hey, you're going to do this for me? Because I know who killed your brother. And
Scheckman's no, that's later. That's later. In this.
Oh.
But
well,
he's just like, I've got information you might know about your brother. You might want to know about your brother's death and everything. Yeah. And so, you know, this takes some interest to Tom Scheckman, because Tom Scheckman has been trying to find who was responsible. And unfortunately, he doesn't know that the guy that was responsible is the guy who's on the phone with him.
Yep. Because he's stupid.
I'm just like, you sneaky bastard. Gabe. Poop.
Anyway.
And then it kind of goes off to Vincent and Catherine evaluating the old crime scene at that place where the gala happened.
And then we have Vincent's cool little flashback thingy.
Yes, I call them flashes. I don't know what he calls them, or if they even call them stuff.
We'll call them beast flashes, because you just say flashes and I immediately think of Chuck, the TV show. So,
okay,
to avoid confusion, beast flashes. He does his beast flash.
Oh, I think he calls it tracking, but I like beast flashes better.
Yeah, beast flashes.
But
anyway, I really love those. I really love that they've added that to his list of abilities, I guess.
Yeah, but it also shows you how, I mean, before when we saw his beast flashes, it was just stuff that happened, maybe a couple days ago or something. But this happened almost over a year ago. So he's still able to see all of that.
It definitely shows the extent of his abilities. So really cool. And really good, really good editing there. I thought. So very cool.
And my question is, they probably did film Sandhill with all the beast makeup and everything. They probably just refilmed this scene when they were filming the episode. Or maybe they did film the killing scene in season 1, and they probably just put that on the back burner. They probably cut it out.
I don't think so.
Episode.
I don't think so. I think, I don't know, just the way it looked. I think they probably did shoot it recently. So.
I thought he was done with all the beast makeup.
Sorry, Sentinel.
Yeah, sorry.
But you gonna be beast again?
Yeah. And so we have Vincent and Catherine checking the old crime scene, and I like how Vincent just doesn't automatically assume it's Gabe that's the beast. He just says there is a beast, and then they use their deductive reasoning. They're like, well, Gabe was the only beast they knew of at the time, and you know, he has motive, obviously, and so I really like that they actually deducted that instead of just said, oh, it was Gabe. And you know, it also shows kind of a flaw in Vincent's flashes, that he can't see everything. Because it just happens so fast. It's not like he can slow down the motion and see it very slowly.
Yeah.
Maybe he can if he practices. But if he hones in his powers. Hey, writers, that's an idea. And then so you have Vincent. He's looking at the past through his beast flashes, or his flash backwards. Flash forward. I'm going to call it flash backwards. I like that. Beast flash backwards, or flash
flashbacks. Beast flashback.
Flashback. There we go. Beast flashback. Anyway, he finds out that there's a witness.
Oh.
It's like, didn't see that one coming, did you, Gabe? No, actually, he did, because he chased the witness away. Yeah. But, Gabe's probably obviously forgot about all of his beastly sins.
Either that,
so
or
Gabe
he's
probably
covering
didn't
it all
even think
up.
about the witness. What?
He's obviously covering it all up. He
Yeah.
obviously covered it all up. He let the guy live, but because he figured the guy was too scared.
Obviously. Or, you probably
something.
thought, oh, this guy probably just had a lot of the drink. Or, no, this is right. Gabe, yeah. I remember this. When Gabe beasts out, he doesn't remember a thing.
No, he doesn't.
Which is interesting, because he does kill Sheckman. So it kind of makes me wonder, could Gabe beast out whenever he wanted to, and the medicine was actually just like a suppressor, not like a, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I think it was,
or maybe he was off his meds for once.
or I think his not being able to remember, it's sort of like in some werewolf lore, werewolves can't remember, or at least new werewolves can't remember what they did as a werewolf.
Like Once Upon a Time with Ruby.
Yeah, kind of like that. Or a really good example is in Teen Wolf. Another show.
I don't watch Teen Wolf.
Another show I suggest you go watch. But like at first, the werewolves can't remember when they turn back into human form after the full moon or whatever. They don't remember what they've done. When they're a new wolf, but there's like little tricks and ways that they teach themselves in order for them to remember. But I think that's what it's kind of like with Gabe, not being able to remember. It's sort of like this mind block, I guess.
Maybe when they're talking about the cold case and everything, he had his own flashes of his own, so it's possibly he's slowly remembering what happened.
Yeah.
And it's because he seems a little confused when he was seeing it happen, and then it reminds him that it was him who killed Ray Sheckman. So like you said, mind block. So, and they also said that he conveniently forgot about some of the stuff he's done as a beast. Conveniently. So maybe he did kind of mentally block it.
Yeah.
And then as the more he remembered, or the more they brought up about the cold case, or he explored it on his own, kind of with Tom Sheckman and stuff, the more he started remembering what happened.
Yeah.
And then they find out there's a witness, and they're walking at Vincent and Catherine are walking out of the building. And all of a sudden, Heather's there again. She's just like, Cat! And then, Cat's just like, Heather! Okay.
I can explain.
I come in peace, or we come in peace. And it kind of reminds me how, it's kind of like with Sam and Dean, what someone has a gun on them, they just drop everything and freeze.
Yeah, we can explain. That was a Rougarou.
They're just, and, Heather just scoffs off, tired of all of the lies and everything, and Catherine obviously marches after her, because Catherine doesn't want Heather to, report to the police or anything. And then, Vincent's just like, well, this gets better and better.
And he says it in the most sarcastic tone, and it's hilarious.
Yeah. And I really like it, because when I was watching the episode, and I heard him say that, I was just like, he's right. These episodes, it does, BATB does get better and better. I just really like how he just tossed up the boot, and it's almost like, when you say something, you snap as you say it, like, oh, darn. But it's like you just tosses up a coin or something.
Yeah.
It's just like, this gets better and better. But the way he delivered it was perfect.
There was a lot of sarcasm there, and I love it.
Yeah. It's just like one thing after another, isn't it? Can never get a break, can they? And so, you know, Heather and Catherine go to Catherine's favorite little coffee place. And
which is like, this is like the third time we've been there in this episode.
Yeah. And then so Heather is just like, you know, I'm just tired of all the lies and everything. Just tell me the truth. I can handle it. And, you know, Catherine's just wavering a little bit. She's not sure. Oh, which reminds me, another line I like from the pavilion scene was when Catherine's just like, what do I tell her? I'm in love with an escaped fugitive beast. And then it's just like, well, start with fugitive first and go from there. I thought that was really funny how he said that. Anyway, going back to the confession scene. Catherine, you know, she's wavering back and forth. Should I tell her? Should I not? Should I tell her? And then, you know,
she finally does.
Like, you know what?
It just comes out.
Might as well just tell her. And, you know, that's probably what's
Heather,
going on in her
Heather,
mind.
of course, thinks that it's all, you know, Kat's just making all this stuff up. She's tired of, she thinks Kat's pretty much gone crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I probably would if I was in Heather's shoes.
Yeah, so, and then she's like, you know, she storms off. She's like, maybe I should just find this wedding dress on my own. And Kat's like, wait.
Wedding dress?
Wedding dress? Wedding dress?
Bombshell.
So then,
yeah, and that was this,
and that sort of leads into the next thing.
Gabe gets desperate. He is starting to go behind
He's
he's
getting sloppy. That's what, he's getting sloppy to cover his ass. He is getting very sloppy.
And he meets up with Tom Steckman in person, and he's just like, okay, this is what you're gonna do, and then Tom's like, no, I'm not gonna do this just based on your words alone. I gotta have proof that this guy, this fugitive, killed my brother. He's like, oh, and if he did, don't worry, I will kill him. But still, I gotta know, because if he hits the wrong guy, the guy's still out there, which obviously, you know, well, whatever.
Yeah.
But so Gabe gets sloppy, he gets desperate, and then, you know, he's just like, Heather.
Whoops.
And he loose lips again. He's just, you know, he tells Tom not to hurt Heather. But if he didn't want Heather to get hurt, he should just never said her name.
Yeah, but you know, Gabe's like I said, or like we said, he's getting sloppy. So
he's sloppy poop.
Yes. Gabe is diarrhea.
Sorry, Sandhill. Sorry about that.
We love Sandhill, but Gabe is. We're sorry. That's what he's becoming. That is Gabe. Anyway.
Diarrhea.
You're welcome, everybody. You're not going to be able to watch Gabe on BATB anymore. Every time you see him, you're going to be like, you're going to...
Or you'll just degrade him even more. He's like, yeah, he is a big, sloshy pile of poop.
We're sorry about this, guys.
We're not trying to get into really gross stuff, but you know,
it just comes out. You know, Gabe's character is just
which diarrhea kind of does, but
my God.
Our words are diarrhea right now.
Okay. Moving on. So Sheckman's like, oh yeah, Heather. Okay, so I'm gonna go find her.
Visiting Catherine, they visit that witness.
So yeah. Now, V and C go to visit the witness, and she's like, she goes up to the guy, you know, all cop-like. She's like, or the door, and she's like, hey, so I'm with the NYPD. I'm looking, you're so and so. You witnessed a murder, and was it this guy?
But it was actually different. I feel like Catherine, when she approaches, you know, a criminal in season 1, she was all, you know, hardcore kind of. She was up in their face kind of thing.
Yeah.
And obviously when Tess was with her in the interrogation room, but obviously they weren't in. She knows this guy is scared. She knows
he's a witness.
She's been there before. She's been when she saw Vincent for the first time when she was a 19-year-old college student. You know, she was like freaking out. She had to get years of therapy for it, and so she understands that this man does not. I mean, he saw something, but he can't even understand it.
Yeah.
And so I like how when she goes up there, she's more. She shows that she cares for him. She shows that she understands him, and but she's not. I feel like she is. She says she's from the NYPD, but she doesn't really use her cop angle to get him to talk. She shows the picture of Gabe, and then she says, "I think you do know what I'm talking about." And then seeing the picture of Gabe, he's like, okay, and so he lets her in, and she slowly kind of coaxes him to talk. She doesn't just ask him hardcore questions like, where were you on the night of blah 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 blah. But then again, he's not a suspect.
Yeah,
he's a
witness. So she's gonna have to be a bit more
understanding. But I really like how she shows that she's just not the bad cop, or she's not the big brother.
Yeah.
She has a heart when it comes to people like the witness. I can't think of what his name was.
I don't remember what his name was, but anyway.
And also the witness can tell that she understands where he's coming from, and he eventually
fesses up. He's like,
fesses,
I was
says
here.
That he will go and confess, which it's not like we're at Catholic mass or something. No, not like come forward. He'll come forward, and he will tell what he saw. And when new evidence comes up, because obviously it's a cold case. It's not like they've already solved the case and they can't prosecute again. It's unsolved, and
it never went to court because it wasn't solved. They didn't have any new evidence, so it just got shoved into a.
Yeah, but even if Gabe didn't beast out, I mean, Gabe was a public figure, so this guy probably knew who he was, and so he, knowing that Gabe was in probably law, in an ADA.
Well, I
would have been scared too to come forward, even if
without
the beast.
Well, I don't think he knew that Gabe was an ADA. He just thought that Gabe was this, this thing, this creature, and I think he was more scared of the beast than what he didn't see the person. He saw the beast. Yeah. So he didn't know who Gabe was.
Yeah, and so, but I really like how Catherine's just like, it's okay, I will not let him hurt you.
Yeah.
And, which is kind of sad, but anyway. So the witness decides to come forward, and so Catherine has Tess take him in, well, I wouldn't say into custody, but,
brought him to the precinct to make a statement.
Yeah, to make a statement. And, Gabe's kind of, his mind's elsewhere, trying to figure out other stuff, and so Gabe's not aware that Catherine and Vincent have found this witness.
Yeah.
At least not yet. And so during this whole thing, as Catherine and Vincent leave, they get a call from Heather. Heather, sorry.
Yeah.
During this, Heather's actually getting fitted for a wedding dress.
And then the lady goes away to fetch her a different dress, and she looks in the mirror, and holy crap, there's this creeper dude.
Tom Scheckman, but all she could think of was like, what is going on?
So, and then she gets abducted. Kat finds out about this. There's actually, the dude went and tied, with Heather's scent, tied a veil to a pole, and Vincent traced the scent. They went and found her.
Yeah, I really like how in this season Vincent, he shows more trust in what Kat is willing to do. And Vincent says he's going to find Heather, and then he tells Catherine to go and get Tess because he's probably going to need some backup. And I really like how he's not relying on his strength alone to save Heather. He's actually willing to have Kat and Tess work with him and he's not telling Kat to go hide or go somewhere safe or something. It shows how much he trusts her.
Yeah.
On her strength too, not just she being his girlfriend, but on her strength that she's willing to do whatever she can to save her sister, obviously.
Yeah.
And Vincent, we see him walking into the dungeon area. I'm really glad they brought the dungeons back.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of forgot about them.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see, and Beast in the New Black. No, it was in the last episode.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cat and Mouse. They were in the dungeons, kind of hiding out. But
yeah.
I like how he saw how Tom Schechtman, which Gabe probably obviously told Tom where to take.
Because
it's a concealed place.
Yeah.
If killings go down, it's not like someone's going to know about it.
Yeah.
And so Vincent comes, and Vincent's just like, I'm not going to hurt you. And, Heather's just a little weary because, he's the fugitive. Everybody's talking about it, plastered on the TV. And then all of a sudden he comes in, and he tries to help her.
And then
he gets locked in.
Schechtman shuts the door, and General Akbar comes up and is like, "It's a trap!" And
it's a trap!
Sorry, Star Wars nerd moment. Anyway,
and we all know it's a trap, obviously, and I'm sure Vincent knew it too. But he's also willing to do whatever he can.
Yeah, he's doing it because
Heather.
He's doing it because he wants to, for Kat and for Heather. Like he's not doing it just
Heather
for Kat. Like
he's trying to gain Heather's trust.
But, yeah.
And so he comes in, gets trapped too, and this is a beast cage. It ain't just a cell. It's a beast cage, and it was made for beasts. And so Heather finds out that Vincent was the one who saved her a year ago.
Yep.
And and Vincent's just like, it wasn't me. I wasn't the one who killed your brother. That was Gabe. And Tom was just like, well, I would trust Gabe over a fugitive.
So then he sets. So then he sets a flipping bomb. And it's like, you gotta be flipping kidding me. And
Fail safe.
Vincent's like, at least let her go. And Schechtman was like, the whole time the audience is thinking, all right, you told Gabe that you would protect her, but instead, you're doing a no witnesses thing. Like, but really?
It's just like his brother, Ray. The Schechtmans really have it out for Heather, don't they? I mean, Ray told Darius to kill Heather.
Yeah.
Because he was afraid that Heather would blab off to somebody. And it's this kind of the same situation where Tom doesn't like loose ends.
Yeah.
And if Heather goes free, he's afraid that she'll blab to some. I mean, so it's honestly a little Schechtman trend here.
Yeah.
They both had trust issues.
Clearly.
Which kind of got them both killed.
Yeah.
But good riddance.
But anyway, so
Vincent's just like, oh crap, what do I do?
How do I get her out of there? So he's all like, you know what?
Screw
Heather,
it, I'm gonna do it.
He's like, Heather, look away, or if you're gonna be kind of frightened by what you're gonna see here, but just don't worry, don't worry. I'm trying to save you. Don't freak out. And
appearances aren't what matters.
So he beasts out. She overreacts. He goes, don't overreact. What does she do? She overreacts.
I would too. I see this beast face. I'm gonna overreact and scream and think he's gonna kill me.
But it was kind of funny. It was like, what was that about overreacting?
So she just screams like the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
And
meanwhile,
beautiful scream. And
Kat.
There's Vincent. He's just like, ramming his shoulder and everything into the
trying
gate.
to break out. And then meanwhile, you have Kat and Tess coming in to save the day on their end, to stop the bad guys from getting away.
I really liked that scene. It just showed how awesome they were. And everything. And so, sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah.
So I really like that scene. They just walk, or they just like run in like bosses. And they don't even have guns. They don't have their guns or badges. And,
well, Kat had a gun, but I think she picked it off one of the guys.
She actually used one of their guns.
Yeah.
She knocked it out of. She kicked it out of his hand, and then after doing some awesome girl power moves, stuff I could only dream about doing, she kicks the gun out. She picks it up,
and then she shoots Sheckman.
Because Sheckman's about to kill her partner, so she can't have that. So she shoots him, and the other guy. I think the other guy just she bashes his head into something or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
It was a fast scene, obviously. I mean, a lot of crap is going down there.
Yeah, and then and then she's all like, she asks Sheckman, who's already dead, where's Heather, and then she looks up and Heather comes running in. Talk about timing. And then and then the thing explodes. The bomb explodes, and she's like, Vincent's still back there.
No. He was just like all altruistic. Leave me behind. Reminds me of Captain America.
Oh. I'm having. Thank you for those feels.
Yeah, and it reminds me of Captain America, but he's just like, go, and he's not even worried about his own welfare with the bomb.
He just cares about getting Heather out safely, and if that means sacrificing himself, then he'll do it. That's one thing I like about Vincent's character, though. He's
very altruistic.
He's very Captain America in quality.
Yes.
So, but anyway.
He's willing to take the bullet.
Yeah.
If it means saving Catherine and those she cares about.
Yeah.
And so you see the big huge explosion, and then Heather's just like, Vincent's still back there.
Yeah.
In that moment, I just froze. I'm like, I mean, I know he's not gonna
They're
die.
not gonna kill him off.
But it's still they create those feels, and you see, I don't know if you noticed this, but I did on my fifth or so time watching it, but. Catherine is crying. There are tears coming out of her eyes.
And I wouldn't. I don't blame her because she doesn't know.
Yeah.
But in a very action movie type way, he comes out basically from the rubble, and he's like, "Hey, it's okay. I'm alive, guys."
He the first thing he says is, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
He's totally concerned about their welfare, not his own, which is another the same altruistic thing.
Yeah.
He's not worried. I mean, obviously he's a beast. He feels like he's fine, but then again, he's kind of stumbling a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in an explosion kind of thing, and then so he's just like, "Are you okay?" And that was obviously directed more towards Catherine than to Heather.
Yeah.
But I think it was kind of to all of them.
Yeah.
But he was looking at Catherine, and Catherine's just like. And then you have Heather just like, who are you?
That was great. That was great. She was just like, wait, okay, so you're Superman, right?
The question of the hour. Who am I? Which is funny because the whole mantra of the second season is, who am I?
Yeah.
And so I just think that's funny. He's just like, who am I indeed?
Yeah.
And so he knows that they're just going to have a huge explanation, go through all of that again, and then I really like the next scene between Heather and Catherine.
Yes.
I mean, it was just really sweet how
it's a nice sisterly
everything's
scene.
out in the open now. Catherine doesn't have to lie to Heather. And then I really like how Heather understands.
Yes.
I mean, she's just like Tess.
Yeah.
And was pissed at it all. She understood.
And I think it's mostly in part because she experienced it firsthand.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
both of them experienced Vincent saving them. And I think Vincent saving people, that's kind of like his bridge to showing, hey, I'm not the bad guy here.
Yeah.
But with half of New York looking after him, looking for him, it's kind of hard to save people without other people pointing fingers and stuff. But I really like how Heather's just like, oh no, I totally understand now why you had to keep that away from me. It's kind of quite a big secret you got going there.
Yeah.
And I really like how Heather's just like, all these years people thought you were crazy saying that you saw this beast.
Yeah.
And Catherine's just like probably thinking, I thought I was crazy for a while too,
Yeah.
And I really like that scene between the sisters, and they're drinking wine because it's been a long day. Totally excuse for wine.
Oh yeah.
I probably would too, even though I don't drink wine. I probably would drink it anyway. I'm like, I'm at the bar now. No, I don't.
But anyway. Yeah, so that was a really nice scene.
And then Catherine's just like, speaking of futures,
so then,
nice rock.
Yeah, that was funny.
And then finally Heather gets to do the big reveal and tell Catherine a little bit about how she met her fiance Matthew, and which I'm just.
Oh, can I? Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you can theorize. Go theorize.
Well, it very so reminds me of Frozen, in a sense of Anna Hans. Like she met him at the airport. Isn't that a bit creepy? Like maybe he was waiting for her there. So I'm theorizing this guy's bad. This guy is not good. So what I'm saying is he's gonna turn out to be a Hans type character, and
if you haven't seen Frozen yet, Hans is not. Oh well, yeah. Hans
sorry for the spoiler.
Nice character.
We don't trust Hans. So until
Matthew is might be a Hans.
I feel like Matthew's gonna be a Hans. I think he's going to just stand up and betray Heather, and in what way I have no idea, but I feel like he's bad news.
Yeah, I mean, part of me feels like that. I feel like I still can't trust Matthew, one, because we haven't met him yet.
Yeah.
And two, I mean,
but
I feel like Heather's only been down in Miami for what 6-7 months, and now all of a sudden she's engaged.
Like I said, it's kind of creepy. It's really, really fishy. There's this Matthew dude. Who meets their one true love at an airport
in one day? No.
The day that she gets there, isn't that a little weird? A little convenient.
Fell in love with him the day.
It's like I said, it's very Anna and Hans. So like I said, I'm not gonna trust this guy until we have cold hard proof that he's not bad.
I don't kind of hope and wish that Matthew is a normal guy, but I feel like he has a stronger purpose because now Heather has this huge secret she has to keep quiet from him.
Yeah.
And for all we know, this Matthew guy could know all about beasts. He could be part of Murfield, or he could be part of the big bad wolf agency, or maybe he is a beast and he has better control, or something. That's a big stretch, but I mean, I feel like Matthew will have a bigger purpose. Maybe not in this season, but if he's around in
definitely
season
next
3.
Season. Yeah.
I feel like, I still cannot make my decision whether he's a good guy or a bad guy just on name alone.
I think, like I said, it's all the signs are there of a creeper. Basically, I think he's trying. I can't say because we haven't met him yet. We haven't seen his personality.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him act and react to things. So, we don't know that if he's trying to get to Kat through Heather. But just the whole story of how they met, it set up red flags. I was like, okay, so in this very short amount of time, they meet at the airport, and then this very short amount of time, he gains her trust, and then proposes, and now they're going to have a wedding. So it's very 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 sketchy business. So
yeah. Yeah, I feel like
based on that story alone, I don't trust him.
Maybe he has this employer who knows all about the Chandler girls and knows the best way to get to Catherine is to go through her little sister, because no one's gonna, she doesn't like it when someone messes with her little sister.
And that's low.
And so he probably was told to wait at the airport, and maybe he accidentally bumped into her, made her drop all of her things.
Accidentally, air quotes.
Yeah, air quotes. But yeah, so, I mean, Matthew, he's still up in the air.
Yeah. So we'll hopefully see if our little predictions are right.
Yeah. And then we have the lineup. Oh my gosh. I just love how, Gabe just talking to Captain Ward. And, he's just like, oh yeah, let me know if I can help with this case or whatever. He's
like, yeah, jump in the lineup.
Actually, you can help us with his brother's death. And then he's like, what? And I just really like that whole transition. He's just kind of, happy face, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh shit.
He's like, uh-oh. So they know.
Spaghetti-o.
So then he's pointed out in the lineup. Yeah. And then he gets pointed out.
And then the witness goes like, numero 4. That's him.
Yeah. And then, and, the guy's hesitant, of course. But then, but then we find out Gabe gets out on bail.
Yeah, in the rooftop scene.
He did get arrested, but he gets out on bail. But
of course,
they at least
have.
Now
the question is why, but I think it's just because he's got
the money.
He has money.
He has the money, and he
knows people.
Yeah,
he knows people.
He's got the power.
He does, unfortunately.
But anyway.
So, yeah, you make bail. And we have the rooftop scene.
Again, they've had lots of rooftop scenes in these past couple episodes. I love this
rooftop scene especially because, I feel like for the first time in a while, Vincent's actually feeling hopeful. Because when Catherine tells him the good news first, where Gabe has been known or named in the lineup or whatever.
Yeah.
Vince's just like, that's fantastic. And I really like how he said that, and I was just like, that's so cute. Yeah. Adorable how he said that. And then she's just like, yeah, but he made bail. And then he's just, of course, happy moments can't last long with these two. But then they kind of have their own little happy moment. He asked Catherine about if she has her job back or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And, Catherine's like, well, no, Tess does because she helped with the witness and everything. And
yeah.
And then she's just like, well, I kind of don't because, I'm still sleeping with a fugitive. And then, Vincent's just like, well, not now, not as of lately. And then Catherine surprisingly has a little sly remark, little Dixon. She's like, no one's looking, or no one's watching. Uh-huh. And I really liked how even they're kind of playful with each other.
Yeah.
And I just like how within their relationship they can be that playful. They're not, we can't do this anymore right here because people are watching or whatever, they're really playful in their relationship, and I really like this episode, how it was very playful. And I love Catherine's repeats of the line, like, sleeping with the fugitive or in love with the fugitive, because to me, I know some people thought that continuous phrase was kind of out of character for her. But to me, I felt like it kind of mocked the phrase sleeping with the enemy, in this case, Vincent is the enemy with New York and with Gabe, and that kind of puts Catherine's job on the line. So I just feel like she's kind of mocking that phrase, sleeping with the enemy, but she's just saying sleeping with the fugitive or whatever. And that smirk, Vincent's smirk when Catherine says, no one's watching, he just kind of looks backwards. And then he has that big smirk, and they have a huge, really romantic kiss. Yeah. And everything. And there, you have he like literally lifts her up and everything. I just thought that was really, I relate that.
Yeah.
I'm such a hopeless romantic. And I just like that. And then all of a sudden you hear the helicopters.
That was cute. They're like, whatever.
You do know that helicopters and Heather both start with an H, and they both of them, or whatever, seem to be always interrupting.
Yeah.
And is that a trend? No. Or coincidence? I think not. But the helicopters.
Anyway. So yeah,
their sound. They're just like moments ruined. And Vincent's exit. I just love it. Adorable. And I just don't see how. I never thought Vincent could be even more adorable than he already was or is. And then he just jumps off. He's like, I'm never late. And he just hops off the roof like a bunny. Just like. I would have been like, Jesus, take the wheel. And so, yeah. So the rooftop scene. And then we have now Gabe again.
Gabe.
And his plan was to confront the witness and just scare him into retracting his statement, pretty much.
Yeah.
But one thing led to another, and I really like how that paralleled with a past scene.
Yes.
How it kind of jumped back and forth between the witness and between Ray. And I just really liked that. And then, he ends up killing the witness. And I don't think that was Gabe's intent at all.
No.
Because, he had that oh shit face at the end of it.
What did I just do?
Yeah. And so, yeah. So he killed the witness. And I think that's definitely going to bring up some questions later on. Because, one, is Gabe's beast back? Maybe not. It's not his beast, but the beast his inward beast is back.
I think.
Or that could be just awakening the beast.
I think he is awakening the beast. I think when he was shot, he wasn't technically cured.
Put his beast to sleep.
Yes, his beast lay dormant, and I think he's lashing out at the witness and killing the witness.
Bringing him back.
It's waking up the beast, essentially.
Yeah. And then we've already talked about Matthew. So I definitely think two themes of this episode was the loose lips sink ships, sometimes kill.
Yeah.
And then the other one was like the truth can set you free.
Yep.
Obviously. And then it's just like, where's JT? I want my JT back.
Hopefully he'll be back.
Definitely soon. All of Jay Ryan's lines totally made up for JT's absence. Or Vincent's line.
Yeah.
And I really like Tess's romance. I don't know, like romance with Kat.
Yeah.
I just like how Tess is willing to back Kat up. And I think that kind of wraps things up for the episode.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot happened.
Oh,
obviously.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now the question is, what's going to happen with Gabe now that he's killed someone? Now are they going to be looking for him? Because it's obvious he has motive.
Yep.
He had motive.
And there's evidence on the witness. Like the witness, there's DNA underneath the guy's fingerprints or underneath the guy's fingernails because he scratched Gabe. Gabe's fingerprints are all over the body. So obviously it's all there unless Gabe goes and completely burns the body, and buries the ashes somewhere.
Then they're gonna wonder where the witness is.
Yeah, they're gonna wonder where the witness is, and the cop too that was protecting him.
I think he just tranked the cop.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah,
remember he came in just to scare the guy.
Yeah.
He didn't come to kill him, and so that's why I think he just tranked the cop.
Yeah.
And so Gabe has the "what have I done" kind of face, and I feel like he's definitely reached the point of no return.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if Emily has seen the preview for the next episode.
I have actually.
Yeah, it's intense. Definitely looks like Gabe is going to going to go behind the books this time. Not behind the books, but he's going to go and do his own thing.
He's going dark side.
Yep, he's going dark side.
I think he's going to stop at nothing.
And then with Heather, my question is, how is she going to fit in this now? Now that she knows the big deep secret, can she keep it without losing her relationship with her fiance if he is a good guy?
Yeah.
Or can she, even if he's a bad guy, can she keep it without, I don't know, getting him involved or whatever? Mm-hmm. And so here are my theories for the episode Ever After. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Gabe must go dark side.
Yep.
He's going to go behind the law. It shows that he has a gun and he's pointing at somebody asking where Vincent is. So obviously he's kind of gone personal. He has his own vendetta. He's not going to go by the protocol books anymore. Mm-hmm. And he's already killed somebody. Mm-hmm. And then so I feel like he's going to use JT as bait to lure Vincent back in somehow. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like the whole suburban life that Vincent and Catherine are going to experience, I just think that's going to be funny, but it's also going to be very short-lived.
Yeah.
Because, it's Beauty and the Beast. Their happy moments are always mostly short-lived.
Yeah.
And then Gabe's obviously going to find out. I think he's going to be pointing his gun at Agent Knox.
That's quite possible. But is he going to find out about Knox?
Or Edgy. One of them.
Yeah.
What?
I said, so that means he's going to find out about Knox?
I think so. And I think, pointing his gun at a federal agent, that's going to obviously give him some jail time.
Yeah.
So Gabe probably finds out some way how where Vincent and Catherine are, and then I feel like he's going to expose it to the town and let the town, torch or burn.
Yeah.
Like, in Beauty and the Beast, the Disney movie. I was convinced that Evan was like Gaston, but no, I think Gabe's more like Gaston.
It's Gabe.
And so it's just like, kill the beast! Except it's more like, catch the fugitive! And, because they don't know. Yeah. And then my question is Agent Knox, is he going to get that exoneration pulled through, since obviously Gabe has gone dark side, he's killed somebody, and so whatever Gabe told the Attorney General, the Attorney General, right? Yeah, I think that's right. The Attorney General, whatever Gabe told him, it's obviously going to go like downhill, because it's going to be worthless, because now Gabe's killed somebody.
Yep.
And I definitely think that's not going to be able to bury itself.
Nope.
So yeah, that's pretty much the episode in a long nutshell.
Yeah.
And also kind of theories for Ever After.
Yep. Yep.
And so we have 2 reaction tweets. The question was, what did you think about Cat and Mouse? And would you like to read the first one?
Sure. So the first one is from Gabriela Morales at Imaginatio Gabby. Sorry, I butchered your Twitter handle. I'm sorry. But she goes, amazing the fact that they're working together to get Gabe arrested, or just out of their backs. Love it. Hashtag BATB.
And Mary Lake, I think this is IK Mary. Or, no, that's LK, sorry. LK Mary, maybe, yeah. Even the most simple names can be butchered. She says, love it. Great to see the way Vincent respects cat skills. That's funny. Catherine's skills. She can investigate and he tracks BHP. Easy peasy. So that's the reaction tweets got so far. And as always, we're going to promote our fan fiction, because it's awesome.
But first, before we promote fan fiction, You guys can email us at somethingbigger001@gmail.com with your questions, comments, theories.
Right. There's also on the websites that I created, there's also a comment box thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if they type their questions or comments or whatever in there, it'll go automatically to the email.
Oh, cool. So, speaking of our website, that is womenofletters.wix, that's wix.com/somethingbigger.
All of these links will be in the description box if you can't remember them.
Check us out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/pages/somethingbigger, a Nerdcast podcast.
And then a bunch of numbers.
Yeah. And then our Twitter, which is twitter.com/SBNerdcast. And then we have our fanfiction, which is
called Something Bigger.
Called Something Bigger. And it's got basically all the shows that we plan on talking about. It's got, BATB and Supernatural, Arrow. It's a crossover. Smallville, the originals, Vampire Diaries.
The originals.
Yep. So, and it's a real fun podcast. That's what this is.
It's a real fun
fan fiction. Yeah. We got some interesting stuff brewing there, so definitely go check that out.
It's mostly between Supernatural and BATB, and the other fandoms just weave in and out. And right now it has at least mentioned, if not involved, BATB obviously, Supernatural obviously.
Yeah.
The originals, it has Klaus in there and Rebecca and Elijah. And eventually we're going to bring in Haley. I don't know when yet.
We don't know when. We haven't planned that far. Or have we?
And we also have, from Arrow, we have Oliver Queen and slash Arrow. His sister, Thea. Her boyfriend,
Roy Harper.
Yes, Roy Harper. And I don't know if we have Felicity yet. I'm not sure if she has come in yet.
We don't have Felicity or Dig, but
not yet.
Not yet.
They will be there.
They will be there. They're coming up.
And we don't have the Vampire Diaries yet.
We haven't mentioned. Okay, no. Not yet. They're coming too.
The only fandoms that it has mentioned or it involves is our Supernatural, Beauty and the Beast, the originals / Vampire Diaries, but more focused on the originals, and Arrow.
Yeah.
And so, I think that's about it.
Yeah. All right. So for Something Bigger Nerdcast, I'm Emily.
And I'm Kimberly.
See you guys. Thanks for listening.